I am 28 years old now. My name is Hope. If you saw me today, you'd see a woman who lives in a world of stainless steel appliances, digital timers, and recipe apps that tell me exactly how many grams of flour to use. But sometimes, when the sun sets early and the wind begins to howl against the glass of my high-rise apartment, I don't see the city lights anymore. I see a different kind of glow. I see a golden lamplight reflected against a frosted window pane. I smell the deep, yeasty scent of rising bread and the sharp, clean aroma of wood smoke, and I feel the cool, velvet texture of flour on my palms. Welcome back to the childhood vault. Today, I'm opening a door to a winter evening 18 years ago. A memory that feels like a warm blanket for the soul. It was a Tuesday in January, deep in the heart of the Canadian countryside. Outside, the world was a study in blue and white. The snow didn't just fall. It descended in silent, heavy flakes, muffling the sound of the wind and turning the distant pine trees into ghostly silhouettes. It was the kind of cold that felt like it could crack a stone. But inside our kitchen, the cold didn't exist. I was 10 years old. That is a magical age, isn't it? You're old enough to want to help, but still young enough to believe that your grandmother is a literal magician. Our kitchen was the heart of the house. It was rustic, lived in, and perfectly imperfect. There were shelves overflowing with books, folded wool blankets tucked into the corners of wooden chairs, and a traditional stove that hummed with a constant, comforting heat. On that evening, a large pot was simmering on the burner, sending soft plumes of steam into the air that made the windows go misty. Grandma was the conductor of this cozy orchestra. She had those gentle European-Canadian features, a face etched with kind, expressive wrinkles that told the story of 1,000 shared laughs. Her silver hair was tied in a neat, sensible bun, and her hands were incredible. They were strong, steady, and perpetually dusted with a fine layer of flour. She was rolling dough on the heavy oak table. Push, pull, rotate. Push, pull, rotate. It was a dance she had performed 10,000 times. "Come here, Hope," she whispered, her voice a warm rasp that always reminded me of dry leaves. "The dough is ready for a student." I stood beside her, my 10-year-old hands feeling clumsy and small compared to hers. My hair was pulled back in tight braids, and I remember holding my breath as I reached out to touch the dough. It was warm, supple, and alive. Grandma didn't give me a lecture. She didn't tell me to look at a clock. She simply placed her hand over mine. "Don't just use your fingers, little bird," she said, guiding my palm. "Use your heart. The dough can tell if you're in a rush. If you're angry, the bread will be tough. If you're bored, it won't rise. But if you love the process, it will feed more than just your stomach." We stood there for what felt like hours, 2 generations of Canadian women bound together by a wooden table and a shared tradition. I watched her attentively, trying to mimic the way she tucked the edges and the way she knew, just by the feel of it, when the gluten was perfectly developed. Nearby, our orange cat, Oliver, sat on a stool, his tail twitching rhythmically. He watched us with those half-closed, judgmental eyes that only cats have, waiting for a stray scrap to hit the floor. The lamplight turned his fur a deep, fiery copper, matching the warmth of the room. That evening wasn't about the food. though the dumplings we eventually made were the best things I've ever tasted. It was about the silence. It was about the way the golden light of the lamp contrasted with the deep, freezing blue of the winter night outside. It was about the safety of knowing that as long as I was in that kitchen, with Grandma's hand over mine, the rest of the world couldn't touch me. Now, at 28, I realized that Grandma wasn't just teaching me how to cook. She was teaching me how to be still. She was teaching me that in a world that is always demanding we go faster, there is immense power in slowing down. There is power in the intergenerational bond, that passing of a torch from a hand that is wrinkled to a hand that is smooth. Grandma passed away a few years ago, and the rustic kitchen is quiet now, but every time I make a mess on my own counter, every time I feel the resistance of the dough under my palms, she is right there beside me. I can almost hear the soft clack of her glasses as she leans in to check my work. I can almost feel the presence of that orange cat waiting for a snack. This is the beauty of the childhood vault. We don't just store facts here. We store feelings. We store the Canadian winter coziness that makes us who we are. But I want to hear from you today. Who was the person who sat you down at a kitchen table and taught you something with their hands? What is the one smell that takes you back to a winter night in your childhood? Is it cinnamon, wood smoke, or maybe just the smell of fresh snow on a wool coat? Do you have a grandma memory that you've been holding on to like a lucky charm? Please go down to the comments and share your heart with me. Every story you share is like adding another book to the shelves of the vault. Let's turn this comment section into a place of warmth and nostalgia, a digital kitchen where we can all sit together and remember. If this story reminded you of the magic of family traditions, or if it made you want to call someone you love just to hear their voice, please hit that subscribe button. Join us here at the Childhood Vault. We are building a community that values the slow, the quiet, and the beautiful. Like this video to help other people find a moment of peace today, and share it with someone who might need a reminder of home. I'm Hope. Thank you for spending this winter evening with me. Keep your memories warm. Cherish the lessons from your elders. And I will see you in the next story. The dough is rising. Until next time.